everybody. Welcome back to another video. Today we have an exciting collaboration between myself, Jeff, the 5-Pin channel, and
Carrie Kreitz of the 5-Pin Universe.
So, Carrie, what are we going to do today?
We're going to open some trading cards. I seen you and Al open up some here not too long ago, and it got me all excited. So I opened up my wallet and purchased a set of my own. So
nice. For those that maybe haven't seen the video with Al and myself, we are doing Leaf PBA trading cards. And this is a set that just came out. Now, Leaf just got the licensing rights to PBA just recently. And I'll tell you just a little bit about the set before we get kind of dug into it. It's a premier edition, and these are premium cards. So in the sense of like what you might see at your local convenience store or whatever, where you see like packs set up of hockey cards or baseball or whatever, this is a little different. You know, this is not like something that's a couple bucks. These boxes, they only come in boxes, so you can't buy a separate pack, and they're a little bit more expensive. And each box has at least 7 cards in it, at least 3 autograph cards. I've seen some boxes open where they've had 8 or 9 cards for autographs. So we don't really know what we're getting into here, but we know we're going to get some good stuff. And recently, earlier this week, they had there was a YouTube video put up of Mike Flanagan, who runs like Inside Bowling and does commentating Bowl TV for the PBA. And he opened an entire case up with Jesper Svensson and Kyle Troop. And, you know, when you're done watching this video, go check that out. It was pretty cool to see the athletes actually opening up the cards and their reactions to everything. So I guess what we really need to decide is who's going first. We'll do card for card like we did with Al, you know, like one person will show a card and the next, and we'll just kind of talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So like in the video with you and Al, you both happen to have 8 cards in your set?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So probably the rarity is you probably won't have another 8 card box.
I don't know. My box is feeling even heavier than the one I had last time, from what I remember. I mean, I could be wrong, but...
Well, you're the professional, so I think you should go first.
Oh, okay. Well, you put all the pressure on me. So I got a trusty knife anyway. I'll open up this box. So now the way we did it, we just kind of like slow rolled card by card. We didn't peek to see what, you know, all the cards look like. We just kind of, you know, went one for one. So I guess that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, mine's kind of out of line of sight, so I won't be able to see which card I'm pulling out. So
perfect. Yeah. So the way it works, the base cards will be all on the top, and then the autographs will be at the bottom. So I guess in a sense, you know, we'll just kind of go through the base cards first, and they'll be kind of a little more boring than your autographs. Yeah. And I have 9 cards. So I was right. It was heavier. I haven't seen what any of the cards are, aside from the first card. But
good thing you're opening first, because I have a slight hunch that I only have 7 cards.
Oh, really? Okay. So I will get started. My first base card. This is the guy that actually started, I guess, the interest for the Leaf license with PBA. They put out a card. I showed it in my video with Al. There was a card, inscription card, autographed by this athlete, and it was this famous quote: "Who do you think you are? I am
Mr. Pete Weber."
So we got Pete Weber.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you were to compare that to a 5PL player or a 5-Pin Universe player or a WCBT player, I guess I should say, who would you compare Pete Weber to? Who is that outspoken character that transcends the sport?
Outspoken, eh? I don't know, like, because I mean, like, he's considered the original bad boy, right? So, obviously, he's a legend. He just had a tournament named after himself. Hang on one second. Skylar has something to say.
The mailman came by.
No, school bus.
Oh, school bus.
School bus, because you know it's that time of day for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, who would you say? Like,
this is gonna make his head so much bigger. But I'm trying to think of like kind of that person that was maybe didn't follow the line, didn't made the sport his own, and is now probably considered one of the best players in the sport for sure. But like Mitch, he would come off the lane, he would let you know what he thought
Yeah.
early in his days. He's a little more reserved now. He does his own thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I can get behind that. I was thinking someone like, maybe it's like in their 50s or 60s or something like that.
fair. I was
But I
just
mean,
going
I
for
guess for
personality
like
wise.
bravado and ability, yeah, like 100%. I definitely agree with that. I think that's
Yeah.
that's a good comparison.
You're welcome, Mitch. That was your shout out. All right, here I open mine. I pre-cut mine because I was
Okay.
trying to be all professional, but
Oh,
I
nice.
have all the wrapping paper here.
Excellent.
Oh, here we go. We have a little English action. Richie Teese.
Oh, Ricky Teese. Well, I don't know if we've got any English speaking like accent.
Yeah, we're all English speaking, but
What I mean with an accent. That's what I meant. British.
yeah, I don't know. He's kind of a character on tour. He likes to joke
Yeah.
around. He's I don't know. I don't know who I'd compare him to.
Yeah.
Don't know him well enough.
I see like he's kind of an up and comer, and he hasn't gotten the notoriety yet of who he really is. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, all those guys have an insane amount of talent that are on the tour.
Yeah.
And if you ever take the time to like listen to interviews of like other PBA bowlers and impressions of how good certain people are, his name does come up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I don't know. Like maybe that's.
Ooh, I think you still have to pick somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking like. Oh man, like these are tough. These are. I mean, it could be like one of the next gen guys, but I mean, they're all pretty good. Like they all.
A Jeremy Harrison check.
Okay.
He's a funny character. He's is obviously insanely talented, and but he isn't really well known across the bowling world.
Mm-hmm.
Made the cut at Regina. He's doing pretty good for himself. I would kind of compare that same thing. He's got some jokes. He's his own guy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so my next base card. Don't worry, I have a good comparison for this person already. And this person actually was already talking about it, where they did the video with PBA bowlers. He was one of the guys. That's Jesper Svensson. Now, my comparison will be another Hamilton guy, actually. And while Jesper Svensson is two-handed and he's
lefty,
he's a lefty. His bowler obviously bowls with one hand, and he's a righty. But Southern Ontario people will know as soon as I make the reference that a lot of people would call. I think they call this guy the Iceman.
Yeah.
The real Iceman is Eric Milne, and tall and kind of imposing. That would be my guy right there.
And everybody has to have seen the video by now of him throwing the clutch shot.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that was insane. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on 5-Pin Bowlers on Facebook. You look back. It was a highlight video of him throwing the last strike at the 05 Open to make nationals for the mixed team. Pretty insane.
I know, like anytime that I've ever gone to nationals for the Open, Eric was on the team, and that is not by accident. He played a big role every time. So,
yeah.
Alrighty.
We have a Johnny Petraglia.
Oh, Johnny Petraglia. Now, I know Petraglia is a little bit before my time. Hall of Famer. I don't know, like, where would you go with that? Yeah, I mean, as someone who is a lefty, I don't really pay attention to too many people who are lefties. Like, I could probably only name 5 or 6 people, maybe. Like.
I just look at Johnny Petraglia obviously won tons of majors. He won lots of tournaments. I don't know if he quite reaches the same level as probably this person holds in the 5-pin world, but he's like a Fraser Hamley, right?
Mhm.
He's always in the conversation. He's always talking about the sport, and was there for the youth and all that stuff. So that's kind of the only comparison. I don't know
Gotcha.
Johnny Petraglia that well, and I didn't know Fraser Hamley that well, but
Mhm.
that
For
would
me,
be
I
my
would say, like,
comparative.
if I was going to compare somebody to Frazier, Norm Duke would be my guy. You know,
Right.
huge resume, just loved by all. And such Norm Duke was always more of like a finesse bowler. He really, the knowledge of the lanes, and that was a Fraser thing for sure. He, yeah, I mean, I think the parallels of the two, go hand in hand. So, but I mean, I can definitely see what you're saying,
Yeah.
as well as Petraglia, but yeah. So my next one here, um, Sean Lavery Spar.
Sean Lavery Spar.
So I'm gonna have to say whoever I'm picking on this list is not gonna have any hair. So, like, I mean, where do we go with this one? I mean, it could be Martin Talbot, um, Rob Wolfson, maybe. That'd be a good one. I don't know.
Um, if we go style, Anthony is very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call Robbie the most aggressive five
No,
pin
no,
player I've ever
no,
seen.
no, for sure. But I'm going just by like the
Looks.
appearance of
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
the
Robbie
bowler.
Wolfson.
And I really don't know. We don't have too many bowlers out there that have twin brothers. So I mean, and we can't
Fair.
compare.
It's
So I
true.
mean, he does have a twin brother that also bowls on the tour too. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I guess
They're both really good.
yeah. Other hand, like even just like looking at this picture, like kind of looks like Steph LaPonce,
There
just
you
with
go. Yeah.
a mirror image because that's the one guy that I can tell you for sure is a lefty because we
The
always
one left-handed player.
yeah. So
I like it. I like it. All right, we got a Chris Prather sighting.
oh, Superman,
He is shorter than you would think.
really?
Yeah, I happened to walk by him at Bowl Expo a few years ago, and that was just after I think he won the World Championship. He won a really big tournament. He was on a
Yeah.
hot streak.
A couple years ago, he won a bunch. Won a bunch.
Yeah, and I was thinking this guy looks like Superman. He's probably fairly tall. No,
No.
he's like Tim Wiseman height. Might be a
Oh
little bit
wow.
shorter than that. Yeah.
So I'm definitely not comparing myself to either Superman or Chris Prather. That's the one thing that I always hear from people when they meet me. It's like, wow, you're a lot shorter than I thought you were. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Chris Prather. Who would I compare him to in 5-pin? I really don't know. I don't know if we have kind of that stoic, does his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gets really pissy about his bowling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be another Mitch Davies.
Everyone's him. My next guy won't be though, but
No.
yeah, I don't know. Like I keep basing everything off of appearance, but I mean, if Colton Hughes will put on some weight,
Yeah.
maybe like he's got the
Yeah.
glasses and the hair, right? So
Yeah.
I could see that, but
Fair. We'll
Okay,
leave
so-
that one alone. We don't have a Superman character.
there are no Supermen. So the next one is going to be really, really limited on who we can compare them to, just based on their background, because we have a Canadian, and it is a French Canadian, Franois Lavery. So, man, I don't know. Quebec bowler, I'm going to just say, I mean, he's not so much of a power player compared to who I would compare him to, but just based on maybe the fact that he's French to start, but maybe Alex Samar. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see. Is there any super smooth?
There is, but I mean, if you want to like go crazy, I mean, Sylvain Berthier.
Yeah.
And I think he does take a little bit of time on the lane. He's a little slower and getting to the line. So
Yeah.
maybe that's probably a better comparison.
We talk about it in 5-pin. There's some players out there you can't even hear the ball hit the lane,
Mhm.
and Francois in 10-pin is definitely one of those players. He can loft it out there and stuff like that, but he's super smooth when the front of the lanes is good for him.
Yeah, that's how I see Sylvain. Sly is definitely that guy that really gets good roll in the ball. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Now, like with this all being said too, like because I know we're probably getting pretty close. I know I have another base card here for sure. But what is what do you see in the future? Like, do you ever think like this is something that could be possible for 5-pin? Like, do you think like down the road there would be interest in a 5-pin set, whether I don't know like Club Tour or WCBT, or I mean maybe even the 5-pin Pro League? Like, do
Yeah.
you think that that's something that could
I
ever be a thing?
I think they're like, me personally, I would love to see a market for it. Like, I know when I was younger, I used to go into the convenience store and go buy small packs of baseball cards or hockey cards or whatever it was at the time. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I would buy a complete set, which I found out from Jeff a little bit later that the complete sets that I bought are absolute trash and they're not worth anything. But um, I would wonder if YBC would be a good product to maybe sell like champions cards
Yeah.
or trading cards too, right? If you can go into your YBC program and for a toonie or whatever, you go buy a pack of cards for
Yeah.
the week, and you can see tooting horns here again, but see an Adam Weber or a Lynn Howell card or a Mitch Davies card, or knowing that there's a possibility you get one of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
Not downplaying any of the rest. Like, let's use the 5PL as a prime example. There's lots of players in the 5PL. There's 24 teams of 8 players or 7 players, whatever's on that team. There's a lot of players out there, but you're probably looking for the Adam Weber card, or you're looking for the Ian McLean or stuff like that. I would hope there's a market for that. I think proprietors would be involved with that, trying to sell it to their YBC programs, because maybe that player plays in their center and they know it's a good card and stuff like that. I'm definitely for it, and maybe you might see something coming out of it.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think I'm always an advocate for our stars of our game kind of being more front and center than they are currently, and
Yeah.
and being turned in a little bit more of a celebrity than they are. And I do know from this video that I did, the past video I did with Al, there is interest out there, because I had a lot of comments about hey, like this was really cool, like really enjoyed watching that. Do you ever think that was like the first question that they asked, was like, do you ever think that we could do something like this for the sport? And I guess like putting me on the spot at the time, like yeah, like probably, like it's probably a thing that would, like you said, especially at a YBC level, there are a lot of passionate young bowlers that absolutely love the sport. And if you can introduce them to the stars, then that gives them someone to strive to be. You know what I mean? Like someone to want to emulate.
Yeah.
And if they don't know who they are, then they don't have that dream of, I want to be an Adam Weber, or I want to be a Mitch Davies one day.
Yeah, I think that's and me and you share this in common, is we don't showcase the stars in the sport nearly enough, besides live streaming a national event and then taking their picture with the trophy and putting it in a website or the next year's program, right? Like we don't showcase those players enough. And that's kind of what my thought process with having the podcasts and doing that stuff through 5-Pin Universe was, to help showcase those players. Not saying the sport won't survive without those stars, because obviously it is a huge entertainment value. There is proprietors that only live on the entertainment value. But you look at every other sport that people are interested in, they know who the star players in that sport are.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you, I've had some meetings as of late talking to people that are involved in the sport, maybe not in a competitive atmosphere and maybe not in the sport side of it, more the entertainment side of it. They probably couldn't tell you who the best player in Canada is. They probably couldn't tell you who the legend of the game is. And that is a problem to me in the sport itself.
Mm-hmm. And I guess like something like this or the podcast, that it's just something that those bowlers featured can be proud of too. and I don't think there's enough stuff out there that are both like the bowlers can be proud about. It's kind of just everything gets swept under the rug. Where, like I mean, I'm married to someone who's a 10-time national champion, and that nobody would know because she doesn't say anything about it. First of all, but it's just done so quietly that you know what I mean. Like it's something that you should be really proud about, and she definitely is. But it just the average person doesn't know. You know what I mean? Like it's almost kind of it's disappointing that kind of accomplishment kind of goes unnoticed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and maybe the trading card idea is a good idea, that a YBC player goes, buys a 5-pack, takes it home, and their parents open it with them and be like, oh, who's that? And then they read about them on the back of the card. And then maybe there's a website that they can go to and see the trading card and see the stats of these players. And like
learn a little bit about it.
There's something to be said for it, and it may not be the most viable option, or people may not think it'll sell, but maybe it's a stepping stone that we need in order to grow the sport.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
I must have the old guys pack. Because I have a Guppy Troop.
Oh, Gup, big Gupster, nice.
Kyle Troop's dad, if people didn't know.
That's he's got some pretty wild pants on there. That's from I think it's like 1990. I think is the
loudmouth pants before they were a thing and hit the curling world, or what?
Yeah. So I have one more base card. I believe you do too, because you don't have a parallel. You haven't done a parallel yet.
I don't think I have another base card.
Okay, but I do, and we've already talked about this guy, so we can be nice and quick. I have the blue parallel out of 15, Richie Teese.
Nice. We have another Richie Teese.
Yep. So are you in the autographs now?
I do believe so. Nope. I have a gold, 2 out of 25.
Yep.
Matt Ogle.
Oh, Matt Ogle. Okay.
So this is one thing I don't know about the industry, or the trading card industry. What does the gold signify?
That is it's a gold parallel. So it's just a limited. It's like the cards that we got before Richie Teese are just your regular cards.
Yeah. And
then the blue one that I got of Richie Teese, and then the gold one that you have, are limited print runs, so they're serial numbered. So like there's only 15 of these blue versions, and I got number 8, and there's only 49 of your gold version that you have. So it's just a good way to kind of like add like a little extra flavor, where like, oh, this is a little bit more rare than your regular card. And I believe we'll have autos that are also parallel. And obviously, like if you're thinking like secondary market, where you're not just looking to collect them, but you're maybe trying to make a couple bucks and buy another box or something like that, like obviously those ones are going to be worth more because they're more rare, so they're more desirable for people. Simple as that.
Very cool.
So to go along with your old guy theme, I have I've got an older, this is my first auto, and I have Jason Couch.
There you go. Another left-hander. Look at you. There you go.
I got the right box, I think. I got the right one. So this is just a regular autograph, but yeah.
Okay, so the regular autograph, is it limited? Like, is there a certain limit to them, or is it just kind of?
I would believe, like, I don't know what the print run would be for the regular base cards, because I'm sure that someone much smarter than me can figure out the odds of getting an out of 15, and they can figure out how many boxes are made, and how many cards are in the set, and all that stuff. I don't have any of that knowledge, but yeah, I mean I know, like when you're talking like baseball cards, like they print those in the thousands. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, this is not going to be the case for bowling, but you figure if you get, say, 3 regular autograph cards per box, they got to be fairly plentiful.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I have my first autograph card, and it's just a normal Thomas Larson.
Thomas Larson. So, Thomas Larson was following me around. I got the parallel with when I did the box opening with Al, and then they had a PBA league set, was a single card in a pack, and you bought it off the site, and it was autographed, and I bought 6 of these packs, and I got 2 Thomas Larson autos. Out of all the possibilities, I got 2 of that guy. So,
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about him. I believe he's Finnish.
Yeah, from Scandinavia area for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely like, I find like the European players, like, like Jesper Svensson would be another one too. Like it's got to be tough for them. Like I know like Belmo when he kind of came over, um, like that's just got to be so much. You just think like you doing the WCBT and having to travel, or like you come into like club tour. Like I mean, these guys pretty much have to live in the States for a large portion. You know what I mean? Like I know like guys like Franois Lavery, like he lives in the States now because there's no sense him going back and forth all the time. But that travels has got to be.
Yeah, those Euro players though, they have a small tour over there as well. Like I know you can win, I think even some sanctioned PBA events over there as well. But obviously not as plentiful as the PBA tour. But I know Thomas Larson's won lots over there, Dom Barrett and those guys. So they do have their kind of their own small tour. I guess you kind of look at it as sure, the club tour and the WCBT, they have multiple events and they're higher priced ones. But the NBT obviously has multiple events and you kind of your own little tour in that area that you don't have to travel so far to at least compete. But
for sure, I agree with that.
Yeah.
How many autos do you have left? Do you have 3, or do you have 2?
I do have 3.
Oh, okay. So we did it again. We both got 9, so we're good.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, so my next autograph. This guy is the power player by definition for sure, and he's got he's 2nd generation, 3rd generation maybe. Kevin McCune.
There we go.
And you see this guy, he just tries to throw the ball right through the back wall.
Yeah.
That could be compared to a lot of 5-pin bowlers, especially out here in Newfoundland. That could be, this is my Shane Chafe right here. This is Shane
There you
Chafe.
go.
Yeah.
Throwing the hay bale.
Yep.
His dad was Eugene, and he was extremely good at, I think it was called the cheetah pattern. It was a longer pattern, but he would throw a rocket from the right gutter into the 1-3 pocket, and he scored massive in that championship specifically. I think he won it 2 or 3 times. He was always in the finals, like just ridiculously good.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of PBA, so like watching Kevin, I mean, he's one of the younger guys on tour. He's fairly new to the tour, but man, you want to see someone just huck a ball. Like his pin action's crazy. He gets like the pin action 2-handers get with throwing one-handed.
He's like the new Robert Smith. Robert Smith used to hum the ball too.
All right. What do you got next?
Assigned, normal, rare, Jesper Svensson.
Yeah. All right. 10-pin Eric Milne.
Yeah. We're just crushing the same cards here a little bit.
We are, yeah. It's funny too because like we're not even in the same box. We're just alternating back and forth. But this is a new one, and this is a parallel, which is interesting because I always thought the parallel was the last card in the box, but I don't know. Maybe they just got a little mixed up and threw an extra card in for me. It's also a blue 1 out of 15, and it is Sean Maldonado.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They call him Candy because
Candy Man, yeah. Because he can't Maldonado. Yeah.
Yeah, Candy Maldonado from baseball.
Yeah, he's got a pretty clean auto. Another 2-hander. You want to see this guy he's got to throw it over the gutter. But yeah.
He used to throw with his thumb in the ball as a 2-hander, but made the transition since to take his thumb out.
And also got rid of the hop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's stuck at the line all the time, it looked like.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so what do you got next? We got to be getting down to the nitty gritty. There's got to be something good in here.
A 3 out of 10.
Oh, green?
Chris Vi.
Chris Vi. The muscles.
Yeah. The biggest right arm in bowling compared to the biggest left arm bowling, Ryan Seminelli.
There we go. Yeah. I mean, that guy's, it's funny. He's so finesse, but yeah, dude's a tank. He's an absolute tank. All right. So I said his name earlier, and it's funny because my last card is not a parallel. I always thought the parallels were last. And I thought maybe I got lucky like my last box open with Al. I had 2 golds.
Right.
This is a regular base card, but it's a good one. And this is was my comparison to Fraser Hambley. I got Norm Duke.
There you go.
Got the Duke. Man,
That's a good one.
Such a classic photo too. Like, yeah. You can just tell how appreciated and loved that guy is by their entire sport.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys. You can just tell, even just in an interview, how nice this guy is.
I wonder how really nice he is, because I don't know if you go back in YouTube and you watch, I forget which championship it was. They did a full hour-length documentary on it. I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you. Norm Duke was talking. He was leading the tournament and stuff like that, and he was talking about practical jokes he played on players. He used to throw a quarter in the bottom of somebody's shoe. And he said by like the 3rd or 4th game, these guys would be limping and they had no reason. But here it was because it was a quarter in their shoe.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So how nice is this guy? He's
maybe
messing around.
Maybe he's grown up since,
Yeah, maybe. All right. Yeah, I don't have a bottom parallel either. It's just a normal auto. But Kyle Troop.
There we go.
So
now,
Guppy and Kyle in the same box.
So who would be a comparable? Who's got some good hair in 5-pin, or that fits that bill?
Is there anybody that prides themselves in their hair in 5-pin?
I know it's not me. That's for sure.
Oh, it's not me.
That's something we might have to think about.
Yeah, that's maybe the audience when they watch this video, they can comment and let us know
some selections. Yeah, what are your ideas on maybe for all the bowlers? What are your comparisons to the guys we pulled?
Yeah, for sure. So
we're kind of just winging it.
So Jeff, are we making any money on this box?
I don't know. Like Norm Duke for me is pretty good. Value wise for the rest of my stuff, maybe Jason Couch should be okay. I would think Jesper sells pretty good.
Right.
But what was your parallel auto? Did you get a parallel auto?
Chris Vi.
Chris Vi, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's playing really good lately. That maybe.
I feel like
a perfect game on television.
Yeah, some of those guys. I guess on television is pretty good, but some of these guys throw 2 perfect games and shift to 6 games.
Yep.
So
yeah, I'm just worried about the TV shows.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's when it really counts. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's hard to say for value wise on where we stand today, because some of these guys are fairly young in their career, and I also think too, like there's going to be a time where more people realize that bowling cards are a thing and jump in. Like I said, the Pete Weber card definitely started the whole trend. I actually have one of those cards, but like his out of 100 graded 10 version of that card at one point was selling for like $1,000. So, like there are collectors for sure. And you think of like how many 10-pin bowlers there are, across the world, there's definitely going to be a few that are going to, be interested. For me, I'm looking to put together this whole the base autograph set. So, there's going to be a lot of people like me out there that are, that's what they're looking to do. So,
Al Paquette's obviously his Belmo has got to be worth some good money. So,
yeah, I think he's looking for a couple hundred on it.
Yeah.
He's put it up on eBay. I don't know if he sold it. He was laughing because somebody made an offer on it on eBay, and it was $1 million and the signed photo of John Cowan, mayor of Timmins, and he's just like, yeah, I got an offer from someone, and this is what the offer was. I'm like, wow, that's weird. That totally wasn't me. So yeah, I don't know if he sold it. I have it. I'm watching it on eBay, but I haven't checked in a few days. So I'll hopefully.
Surprised you haven't swooped that up.
You know what? I've been thinking about it. If it was a regular base auto, for sure. Like, you can get probably pretty deep in cost for the parallels and trying to chase down some of the more rare. Like his was down to 8. You know what I mean? So if you look at that, like you're trying to get all the autographs out of 8, that's going to be a tough sell for someone collecting the entire set. There's quite a few players, so.
Well, I got 3 base signs if you're looking, but you
I'll
probably
probably
have these ones.
I'll buy them. I'll buy them off you. We'll figure something out.
Okay, no worries. Jeff, thanks for very much doing this collaboration. And,
Yeah, this was fun, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing this again. Might have to save a few pennies to buy another box, but
Yeah, with all the people requesting to do this with me, I'm gonna have to wait. Every time I do a video, someone will be like, "Hey, I'll do the next one." I'm like, it's gonna get expensive for me.
Yep.
Because I mean, these things are 95 bucks American for a box. So
yeah,
I have to do a bunch of videos. Next thing and missing mortgage payments and stuff.
Maybe Jeff, maybe it's time you set up a little Patreon page for your trading card collection idea, and maybe people start donating for you to buy these cards.
Oh, I mean, if they want to see me on camera, I would think they want to pay me to not be on camera. But if they want to see me on camera, maybe we'll set something up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I will be the official bowling breaker of the world.
I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate doing this, and it was a lot of fun, and hopefully you enjoyed it too.
Yeah. And everybody that's watching this on 5-Pin Universe's channel, check out Jeff's channel. We'll post it in the comments and the description of this video, and look forward to seeing you all the next time.
And likewise for me, although you probably, or at least you better already be subscribed. So if you're not, we'll make sure that happens.
Perfect. All right. Have a good day, Jeff.
Thanks, Carrie.